Welcome to the Week 4 VarsityWA Midnight Reactions Football Friday podcast. I'm your host, Todd Milles. If it seems like we're a little off time-wise, we are, because it was more of a midnight traffic mess podcast that didn't get recorded last night, but my two guests are kind enough to join me on Saturday morning. Matt Evans from Evans Rankings, the best computer rankings system in the world for high school football, and then the championship coach, Eric Kurle, who's over in Chelan, heading this way to traffic hell. Guys, thanks for joining us. Let's get right to the top 25 scoreboard. Some interesting scores I think you guys will react to, but let's run down the top 25, and let's start right at the top. O'Day coming back to beat Eastside Catholic last night, 24-20, the top-ranked Irish. Second-ranked Gonzaga Prep, 31-14 over a much-improved Cheney team. Number 3, Lake Stevens, no problem with Mariner, 56-0. Those fourth-ranked Crusaders from Eastside Catholic, first-half lead but lose at O'Day, 24-20. Mount Tahoma, the fifth-ranked Thunderbirds, 47-0 over Central Kitsap. Hey, those Hanford Falcons that Matt Evans talked about last week, playing Chiawana tough. A defensive struggle, but sixth-ranked Chiawana wins 18-6. Sumner bounces back. The seventh-ranked Spartans over South Kitsap, 63-3. Bellevue, the number 8 Wolverines beat Mount Si, 33-9. Ninth-ranked Graham Kapowsin, behind a record performance of AJ Tuivasa, beats Bonnie Lake, 61-34. The big one up in Lynden. And those two-time defending champs from Anacortes, 10th-ranked Seahawks, beat Lynden 26-23. Number 11, Kennewick, beats Sageview 42-0. Number 12, Archbishop Murphy, 61-28 over Bellingham. The Lions lose at home, but make a valiant effort. The 13th-ranked Lynden Lions, 26-23. Puyallup, 14th-ranked Puyallup, keeps rolling along, 54-0 over Emerald Ridge. Number 15, Tumwater goes to Nooksack Valley, takes care of the Pioneers, 48-28. Number 16, Glacier Peak, probably the longest road trip of the week, beats Post Falls, Idaho, 30-18. On Thursday, Enumclaw holds off Federal Way, the 17th-ranked Hornets, 14-7. Royal sets up the big showdown with Kashmir by beating Zilla, 43-0, the 18th-ranked Knights. Number 19, Lakes, beats North Thurston, 49-8. Number 20, Moses Lake, cannot be stopped, that offense. Beats Wenatchee, 55-0. Number 21, Seattle Prep, beats Bishop Blanchette, 35-14. Number 22, Camas. I think we expected them to go to West Lynn and have a tough time. Blanked, 41-0 by the defending 6A champs from Oregon. Number 23, Meade. This might be a shocker, guys. Losing to Mount Spokane in the Battle of the Bell, 16-14. Number 24, Franklin Pierce. Maybe the game of the night. Losing to Ording, 43-42 in the matchup of the 2A SBSL leaders. And number 25, Bothell, losing at home in the Wild and Woolly Kinko to Skyline, 14-7. I'm sure you guys have some things to react to. Matt Evans, let's start with you. Interesting scoreboard from week 4.
Oh, man. Yeah, I want to take a look at that Meade Mount Spokane game. We all came into this week seeing how Mount Spokane performed last week against Gonzaga Prep, thinking, oh, these guys, it's probably not going to be for these guys this week. But they showed grit and determination last week. It was 14-3 at halftime. Meade was up by 11 at halftime, and Mount Spokane just clawed their way back. They scored with few seconds left. Touchdown pass to Rock Franklin. Fantastic catch from all accounts to pull off that rivalry win. On top of that, how can we not mention that Ording Franklin Pierce game that was just unbelievable? Came down to the last second, came down to, if you have a kicker, you probably win that game if you're Franklin Pierce.
Yeah, no question. No question, Matt. Eric, what caught your eye from week 4 at the scoreboard?
It's so amazed how competitive all the different levels are right now. I just see 5 or 6 teams that can win it at every level right now. And you got that Anacortes league with Archbishop Murphy, Lynden, Seaholm. I mean, they're just incredible. And you got Ording and Franklin Pierce throwing that, and Tom Water. I mean, it's just an incredible league, that 2A. But every level's like that. I mean, GK finally got their offense rolling. They were a little bit out of sync, in my opinion, watching them, and they got it rolling on offense. And that Puyallup is rolling, Sumner's rolling, Lake Stevens. I mean, it's going to be competitive at that level too. And then, you have Kashmir Royal next week. I'm excited. I know you're gonna. I think you're going to that, Todd. I'm excited to see that game. What happens there? I think Kashmir's shut out everybody, and I think Oro's given up one touchdown. And then, the surprise team we've got to keep an eye on is Moses Lake. I mean, Coach Jay is incredible offensive coach, and he has his kid rolling. And I like to see how they do, and if they can win a couple games in the state playoff, that'd be exciting.
Yeah, my first glance at the scoreboard, guys, was don't ever underestimate the grit of a defending state champion. Look what Anacortes did going to, one of the best football atmospheres in the state in Lynden, and getting a big league and holding off the Lions. How about O'Day? Same thing. Did it a little differently. We were at that game, Lauren Smith and I. The Irish had to come back in the second half. Two big run plays to beat the Crusaders. And then Sumner coming back from the disappointing loss to West Lynn, rolling past an undefeated South Kitsap team. You guys understand football as well as anybody, the organic nature of it. When you enjoy success, and especially when you're a defending state champ, you don't want to let that go, man. You're the champs. You got to play with pride. And those three teams really showed that last night, I thought. And speaking of defending state champs, we're going to go a little north and talk to the coach of the two-time defending state champions from Anacortes. Welcome to the podcast, Justin Portz. Big win last night at Lynden. The two-time defending champs take care of business. Justin, thanks for coming on. How do you explain the atmosphere going up to Lynden and Whatcom County? And especially, how big was it getting a win in this very, very tough conference?
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on, Todd. It's, anytime you're going up to Lynden, the legacy they have there, they've just got a brand new sign they put up like 2 days ago on the outside of their stadium that shows all their state championships, and you just kind of know what you're walking into. And it doesn't matter if they're they never have a down year, but up or down, going into Lynden, you're in for a battle. They're always going to be well prepared. They always have tough kids that never quit, and it's going to be a 4-quarter game no matter what. And that's exactly what we walked into. And it's a ton of fun. And, the whole week was exciting, and practices had a little more energy and all that because our kids kind of knew what was at stake. And tough battle all the way to the very end, and leaving there with a win is a big deal. There's probably not too many teams in the state that can say they've gone to Lynden and walked away with a win off of that football field. So we're really proud of that, and ready to use that as momentum going forward through the rest of the season.
Coach, you led most of the way last night, but had to kind of hold them off in the fourth quarter. Can you talk about the fourth quarter and just kind of the ups and downs?
Yeah, for sure. We ran into some communication issues in our secondary, and Lynden took advantage of it, and that's what they'll do. So they saw some things, and we were trying to get some coverage calls into guys, and communication wasn't there, and they took advantage of it. So we felt like, it's a game we should win. Like, we liked our matchups and we liked our game plan, but we knew that they had they're good coaching, and they got good players too, and they're going to make plays. And like Lynden always does, if you give them an opportunity to hang around, they will. And they're really good at winning close games if you keep them close. And that's, it came right down to it. They were probably only 5 or more, I don't know, maybe 10 yards away from getting into where they could maybe try a field goal. And I know they've got a good kicker. So it really was down to the wire there. And, of course, it feels good to win a game like that. It's good for, our kids to have a close battle and have to hold on, because that's something that'll pay off for us down the road. But, I think our offense did a good job, and and we were able to run the ball really well, and we had a pretty close to like 280 yards rushing, and that's something Lynden probably prides himself on. They're big and physical. They probably don't love the fact that we ran on them how we did last night. We had 4 rushing touchdowns, and then we got the big plays through the air when we needed to convert. So it kind of came together for us, and we were able to hold on with the win.
We've all been talking up the 2A Northwest Conference, and why shouldn't we? It's the best 2A conference in the state. Let me bring in the championship coach, the one guy on this podcast that can look at you eye to eye and know what you're going through, and having won a state championship at Grand Capow's. And Eric, question for him?
Yeah, just very, very impressed watching you guys last time. I watched you a little online, and just how well-rounded you guys are. You guys play in such a tough league, and being able to get you guys ready every week. How do you do? I mean, every week it seems like you got a big game every week. And how do you keep your guys focused?
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Coach. Thanks for checking us out, man. I'll tell you what, it's fun because we know that our season really matters. I know there are some good teams in the state that play in maybe some weaker leagues, and they just every year they circle the playoffs, and they probably circle that they're going to be a quarter semifinal team, and they know that they're not really going to be challenged week to week. And I'm just glad that that's not the case for us. We have an opportunity to grind through our league, and every week we get pushed and tested in a way that helps us find things like, last night's game, I knew no matter win or loss, we were going to walk away with some things that we need to get better at. And we're here this morning with the players watching film, and coach and staff. We got a list of things that we need to clean up this week. And so this game with Lynden is going to help us in November, December, and the Northwest Conference. That's what we get out of it.
A big 26-23 win at Lynden, the second time in 3 years the Seahawks have gone to Whatcom County and earned a big win. Coach Justin Portz, thanks so much for joining the podcast. Best of luck the rest of the way. We'll get caught up, and you guys have it rolling. You're still one of the best stories in the state, and appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. I appreciate the coverage. Appreciate what you do to cover high school sports.
That's Justin Portz from Anacortes joining us. Wow, our last segment is our hot take segment. There's a lot of things going on in a lot of different directions, and I think you guys mentioned some of that in the scoreboard watch. Let's start with you, Matt. What's your hot take coming out of week 4?
Well, I actually had to do some research on this one, but I think that this year something's going to happen that hasn't happened since 2007. The 2007 season was the last time that we did not have one repeat state champion in football. Every single classification had a different champion that they did the previous season. I think that this year that's going to be the case. And I know that that's saying a lot with Anacortes and Royalist defending state champions, but what we've seen, just how competitive every classification is, I think that it's very possible that we get 6 different state champions.
Eric Kurle, give us your salty take in week 4.
I just saw, I told you this last week, so excited for this week. I think we're going to see a lot. I mean, I think any team, even if they lose next week, but we're going to see a lot who's going to win the league titles next week with the matchups we see. And then from there, guys can bounce back, playoffs, and something can go different. But who's going to win the league title is going to happen next week in a lot of these leagues. Just it's so impressive going to watch and going to watch online these different games.
Yeah, I think after next week, you're going to see a lot of movement in the rankings, kind of coincide with what's going on in some of these league championship races. My hot take from week 4, again, I mentioned it last week, and I'm coming out of the 4A Kinko, and I think the winner of that league, and gosh, please flip a coin for me, guys. I think it's going to come out of the Plateau. Skyline getting a big win at Pop Caney Stadium last night, 14-7. Some senior skill position guys and a really up-and-coming quarterback, Kason Williams, the offensive coordinator. Peyton Pallor, the head coach, the defensive mastermind. I like how this program's coming together, and in a year where there's really maybe no clear 4A Kinko favorite for the top seed. I like Skyline. They cleared a huge hurdle last night, guys. And with Eastlake still trying to adjust to Greg Hurd, the new coach, and their best player has not come back and played yet. I think some of those teams that we thought about, Bothell, Eastlake, North Creek, we talked about early, kind of still trying to find themselves here a month into the season, where it seems like it's coming together pretty well for Skyline. I like what they're doing. They're playing good defense. Back-to-back wins against Issaquah and Bothell. Peyton Pallor in the hunt for his first. Well, with Bellevue in the first division, it wouldn't technically be a league championship, but among the 4A Kinko schools, it would be his first league championship, which would be great, a great accomplishment in his second year. Well, we appreciate you guys checking in on the Midnight Reactions, or should I say Saturday Morning Reactions podcast from week 4. Wanted to thank our guests, Matt Evans from Evans Rankings, and the championship coach, Eric Kurle, over there in Chelan, driving over to the west side this morning. I'm Todd Milles, your host. We will be back at it Friday night for week 5.